Hi folks, we're on the Double Dragon dev server. I'm sorry, I mean Dance of the Dragons dev server. Taking a look at the J-10A. This has been overdue for a while. In my opinion, this should have been added a couple of patches ago. Maybe not with the active radar missiles, but whatever. This is a top-end Chinese fighter that is going to be down at the very end of the left-hand line underneath the Taiwanese F-16. So that's an interesting placement, putting the domestically produced and designed J-10 down underneath the end of the Taiwan line. Radar set, pretty basic. Placeholder disclaimers that, this is the dev server. All of this is subject to change. Fully featured ballistics computer and radar warning receiver. Again, disclaimers, disclaimers. Let's take a look at the loadouts. Now, I'm not sure I like this new interface for the loadouts where you can't really see everything at once. It's nice to see it updated live like this, but I don't know. I don't like being able to see the whole list at the same time. Anyway, you can take up to 6 PL-12 active radar air-to-air missiles. We already have that in the game. And up to 6, or, just your outer pylons with the PL-12s, can be either PL-8 or PL-5E2. Both are all-aspect infrared missiles. The PL-8 is going to be the upgraded choice, and that's what I'll be going with here. This aircraft, I'll go over its history more when I do a full review. This aircraft actually has a very interesting story, and there was a bit of drama with its creation. This is sort of the mass-produced, generic Chinese Air Force fighter right now. They're rolling these things off the assembly line, very quickly, just mass producing them to replace several earlier types of aircraft in their Air Force. In the game, I did a quick test flight, and it's fairly impressive. It feels a lot like flying an F-16, which is somewhat real-world accurate. This is very often considered to be a Chinese equivalent of a mid to late generation F-16. Let's take it out into a match and see what we get. Okay, so I'm out in a match here, and something that has been an issue, the functionality on the dev server to stop joining missions in progress doesn't seem to be working right. Every match I join, it's been about half a dozen now, has been a match in progress. So, this is almost over, and it spawned me in fresh. I may not be able to actually get any combat or anything, but at the very least, I'll tell you a little bit about the plane, and you'll be able to see how it's flying here. There are some noteworthy things. I didn't explicitly mention this when we were looking at the loadouts, but there are no drop tanks available to the J-10, and it only gets 25 minutes of gas. And you can see now, I've only been flying around for a little bit here, and I'm already down to 18 minutes. So if they don't give this some drop tanks when the update goes live, that could be an issue. Another thing, the supply of countermeasures is woefully inadequate. Dev server disclaimers, of course, that may change. But in the past, they have sort of proven themselves to be allergic to giving Chinese aircraft countermeasures. Or adequate supplies of countermeasures, even if they had them in real life and everything. So who knows what's going on with that. Alright, I am going to take a shot. I have no idea what that is, but I'll turn and see if I can give him a double tap. He's launching on me. I'm going to turn and go cold. And I'll just sort of let the inertial guidance on those PL-12s do their thing. Almost certainly going to get nothing out of it, but that's fine. Another thing I want to draw your attention to is the radar altimeter up on the HUD. They've enabled the radar altimeter as something you turn on in the options panel. So, all aircraft get this. Reserve biplanes get a radar altimeter now. I'm not sure what I think about that, and I may end up just turning that feature off when I fly low-tier aircraft. I don't know. It just kind of bugs me. You might like that. That's fine. The other thing is just generally how this aircraft flies. Now, I'm going to tell you, to me, on the dev server, with the subject to change dev server flight model and all that, This feels like flying an F-16, which is kind of real-world analogous. All right, here we go. Here's this guy again, which is sort of real-life analogous. You know, the J-10 is very often considered to be a Chinese equivalent of the F-16 with very similar flight performance and everything. And honestly, that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like I'm flying an F-16A, with the exception that it turns really good at supersonic speeds thanks to that canard delta design. Look at this turn. And I'm at Mach 1. I mean, that's really good. And I'm going to take a couple more dunk shots on whatever that is over there. The radar, of course, has, you know, the usual radar modes you expect. It has track wall scan, pulse Doppler, and pulse Doppler head-on. It does not have a lookup search mode, so that is definitely a caveat to know about. But Devserver subject to change and everything. Are either of those missiles going to get in there? Looks like I just missed him. Well, let's see if we can actually get in for a dogfight. That's an F-16, so that will be a relatively good test of this plane's agility and everything. Alright, I'm just going to force him into a defensive maneuver there. He's going to have to evade that. Okay, or not. Or he's just going to take it like a chump. That's fine. And, you know, those guys talking at me in Chinese, I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're saying. So if you end up watching my video and you are trying to, like, coordinate something, I apologize there. I can speak a little bit of Chinese, but I can't read any, so sorry. Anyway, not really, unfortunately, going to be able to show you a whole lot of dogfighting or anything. I just can't get any good matches here on the Devserver. Everything's already, like, over by the time I get in. But so that's the J-10. I'm really excited about this finally getting added to the game. It's going to give top-tier China a really good close-in dogfighter, and I may have spoken too soon. Come on. We come in on this F-15. Oh, he's going to hide behind the pillar. Oh, good move, good move. Oh, that other guy already got him. Well, let's take a shot anyway. We'll hit the empty husk. All right, so as we were saying, that is the J-10. Make sure to keep an eye on the channel. I will have a full review of this when the update goes live. As always, thanks for watching.